All right, that should work. I apologize, everybody. Had a little mic difficulty there. Hello, Chief Meteorologist Hunter Williams here. Wanted to hop on this evening ahead of our 10 o'clock show, just do kind of a live extended breakdown of the forecast, which does include the risk for a few strong to severe storms tomorrow. Now, we talked about this at 5 and 6, but our storm outlook has changed a little bit since yesterday. So let's start with that. Here's our new storm outlook for Thursday. Level 2 now for most of our KVUE area. Yesterday it was a level 1. Since then we have been upgraded to the level 2 risk. So here's a little graphic that we put together, just kind of breaking down the main threats, the timing, and the impacts. The main threats, this is going to be just like the last few rounds of strong storms we've had. Large hail, priority number 1. Could also have some strong winds. Thankfully the tornado threat looks very low. Timing. There will likely be some showers and maybe a few storms in the morning tomorrow. I think the severe weather threat early in the day tomorrow is very low. The main severe weather window we are watching is 5 p.m. in the afternoon to 11 p.m. in the evening. Impacts, just a few things I want you to kind of think about ahead of this. Drive home from work. Also any evening outdoor plans, probably not the best day for that. And if you have a carport or a garage or anything like that, since we're tracking a hail threat, and you're not going anywhere, probably a good idea just to get the car somewhere protected if you could do that easily. Here's a breakdown of the main threats. Again, it's primarily a large hail concern. Damaging winds, we're going to put that in the low category. The threat for an isolated tornado looks very low. In fact, the Storm Prediction Center is not even including any part of our KVUE area in that tornado risk. I'll show you that in a moment. The flooding risk, also very low, not something that we're concerned about. And, you know, honestly, we could go for some locally heavy rain across the hill country. I just don't think that's going to be really the reality of this forecast this time around with scattered storms in our forecast. So again, kind of going threat by threat, tornado threat, very low, so low that the Storm Prediction Center does not include our area in that tornado threat. Hail in the yellow, that's the elevated hail threat for most of our KVUE area. Then the wind threat is lower, but still not completely zero. Some strong winds up to say 50, 60 miles per hour can't be completely ruled out. So let's go to the models. We will go over some brand new model data, and this time around compared to last weekend, and I apologize, and I tell you, I've heard from a lot of you guys. I fully understand that forecast last weekend did not work out very well for us, and I apologize if you planned your weekend around that. But this time we are seeing better consistency in the models, and that has our confidence a little bit higher in this forecast. So here is 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. It is damp for most. We have some drizzle, some scattered showers, and maybe a storm or two over Fayette County or across the coastal plains. Again, I think the overall severe threat in the morning is pretty low, but 1 or 2 of those storms, especially over Fayette County, could be strong. Through the day, scattered activity, and then 5 o'clock, we'll open up our severe weather window. Now, first it's going to be kind of scattered hit or miss stuff, but as we go into 7, 8 o'clock, the models are still onto this idea that we have a line or at least a broken line of storms that forms across the hill country. And hey, it would be good to get some rain out here, but you see those dark reds, those purples, the pinks, that means the potential for hail is going to be in there. We keep going into 9 o'clock. New data is bringing in this line or broken line of storms into the metro and the I-35 corridor between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. Again, just trying to give you some times to kind of plan around this for your evening. Hopefully it's going to hunker down inside at that point. 11 o'clock. East of I-35, places like Bastrop, Giddings, LaGrange, watching storm potential into the late evening. And then after midnight, our severe weather window will close. Clouds are going to move out by Friday morning, and by Friday afternoon, we will be back to sunshine. So we talked severe weather potential. Let's talk rainfall here. Unfortunately, I don't think this is going to be anything that's going to have huge impacts as far as beneficial drought improvement or lake level improvement across the hill country. But I do think there will be some storms across the hill country. I don't know exactly where that will set up, but if you get under one of those storms, a quick ½ inch to an inch or so of rain will be possible. And then when you start going along and east of I-35, that's where I think on average we're going to be getting some more consistent rains that could be, say, a ½ inch to an inch plus or so. And that is just with this round, which is coming in tomorrow. We're tracking another chance for rain early next week. I'll show you that on the 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, I'm going to say a 60% chance for rain. Based on this new data, I may bump that up to a 70% chance at 10 o'clock. Again, this is going to be kind of scattered, stormy weather. Not all of you will likely see storms tomorrow. I do think most of you will see some sort of wet weather tomorrow, but as far as the stronger storms, not everybody's going to see that, but it is a situation where storms form. They could be on the strong side. This weekend, compared to last weekend, man, it was just kind of a mess. This weekend's going to be dry. Things clear out Friday, Saturday, 0%. It's a 10% Sunday, but then Sunday night into Monday, there's a 40% chance for rain and storms. A few of those storms could also be strong. So we'll start looking ahead to that system once we get past this one. Here is the weekend forecast. 76 for Saturday. Looks really nice, mostly sunny. Sunday's going to be breezy, mostly cloudy, but temperature still pleasant. April saying, already got the car inside. Yeah, always better to be safe than sorry. We were talking about this here at KVUE the other day, how, the hail damage, especially if you got small hail, you don't always see it right away. But then if you look at the hood of your car, like when it's got the sun gleaming on it the right way, you can see where you actually have a little bit of hail damage. And I noticed that on my car, and we're all talking about how here at the station we have just little minor hail damage. So I am always a supporter of being safe rather than sorry with getting your car inside or under a parking deck or something like that. Tonight we'll say a 20% chance for showers, maybe a few storms by daybreak. Cloudy, warmer, 60. Tomorrow a 60 to 70% chance for rain and storms. High temperature right around 69 degrees. Here's the allergy count. Elm is high today. Cedar and mulberry medium. Both of those a little bit lower than what we had yesterday. Oak is low and mold is in the medium count. Here's the 7-day forecast. A severe storm threat for Thursday. We're going to clear out nicely for this weekend. Saturday, Sunday, just breezy. And then as we go to Monday, a 40% chance for rain and storms that could trend higher, and it's looking like mainly the first half of the day on Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, we'll go back to warmer and mainly dry weather. So that is what we have for you. I'm keeping an eye here on some of the various chats and comments that we have. I know we're streaming this on many different platforms, YouTube, apps. I don't know where you're watching, but if you guys have any questions, do your best to fire them away. Hopefully we've answered all that for you. It's a 9:13 right now. We're going to have a full update in the forecast coming up on KVUE News at 10. But I really like doing kind of these digital updates an hour or so before the 10 o'clock, so we have the new data. But here on our digital platforms, we have a little bit more time to just kind of slowly go through things and make sure everybody's up to speed. So with that being said, we'll go through things one more time, then I'll sign off, and we'll do the TV thing coming up at 10 o'clock. This is the storm outlook. Level 2 risk. So yesterday and even this morning, it was a level 1, a marginal. And then mid-afternoon update, they upgraded us to the level 2, which is not a big surprise to me. The slight risk, and that goes from Llano and Fredericksburg, and then essentially across the rest of our KVUE area, includes all of our I-35 corridor counties and the metro. Here's kind of the one-sheeter that we made, just everything that you need to know about this forecast. Thursday storms, main threats go to be large hail, strong winds, timing. There will be some wet weather in the morning. I think the severe risk is pretty low with that. Main threats go to be 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. And then impacts, again, thinking drive home from work, evening plans, car somewhere protected if you can. All right, storm threats, just kind of breaking it down one by one. Large hail, main concern, a lot like what we've had with these past few systems, but we don't have a hatched area for hail. Hopefully I don't add one of those tomorrow morning. It's not out of the question, but for now, we don't have a hatched area for significant hail. Damaging winds, we'll put that in the low risk, but it's still there. Isolated tornadoes and flooding, not expecting big issues with that for tomorrow. Okay, severe weather threats. Tornado. The Storm Prediction Center not even highlighting our area in the tornado threat. Hopefully it stays that way. Not very concerned about it. Hail in the yellow, that's an elevated risk, and then in that kind of brown shading for winds, that's going to be a low threat for some strong winds that could be maybe 50+ miles per hour. This is the latest model data. We'll go through this hour by hour. Tomorrow morning and through tonight, there's going to be some scattered light rain. We've actually had a little bit of that this evening, but I don't expect much stormy weather. But by tomorrow at 8 a.m., it's mainly just damp with light showers around, but across Fayette County especially, I do think there could be a storm or two. It wouldn't completely surprise me if one of those became strong, maybe a strong storm advisory with it. But overall, I think the severe threat in the morning is pretty low. Then we go through the day, scattered rain, few embedded storms, likely not severe along and east of I-35. And then 5 p.m. is going to open up our severe weather window. First, we have some scattered storms. And then we get a line or a broken line of storms developing across the hill country. These areas need rain, but you guys know how this works. You get the pinks and the white type colors there. That's going to be the potential for hail in some of these strong storms. These move to the east into the metro and the I-35 corridor as we get closer to 8, 9, or 10 o'clock. Again, a few of these could be strong. We'll be covering those likely during our 10 o'clock show tomorrow. Then it keeps going east. 10, 11 o'clock, Bastrop County, Lee County, Fayette County, Milam County. And then that's going to be it. By midnight tomorrow, we will close our severe weather window, so it is 5. I'm going to say 5 to 11, but we'll say 5 to midnight. based on this latest data. 5 to midnight, then after that, not expecting any more stormy weather. We'll go back to sunshine by the afternoon on Friday. Rainfall forecast. This is the brand new model data. So there's going to be a lot, especially across the hill country, that are less than impressed with these rainfall totals. We've got about a 60 to 70% chance for storms. So at some point tomorrow, you'll probably have at least some light rain or some drizzle, but not everybody's going to get storms. But I do think that some across the hill country will see a decent storm. I just don't know where exactly that's going to be. Quick half inch to an inch or so of rain. And then I think the rainfall totals get a little bit more consistent as you go along and east of I-35. We say a half inch to an inch or so of rain. So a 60% tomorrow, excuse me. Again, I might bump that up to a 70% before 10 o'clock. Got to finish looking at the rest of the forecast data. This weekend's going to be dry. It's not going to be like last weekend. It's going to be dry. Monday, we have a 40% chance for rain and storms. And with that, I will show you the 7-day forecast, and then I will leave you, finish getting ready for this 10 o'clock show. Okay, tomorrow, 60 to 70% chance for storms, could be severe. Friday, partly cloudy, 77. Really nice on Saturday. Sunday's breezy, but still mainly dry. Rain and storms Monday, mainly in the morning, and then it's back to dry weather for Tuesday and Wednesday. Stephanie is tuning in, says thank you for the updates. No problem, Stephanie. Okay, so that's going to do it for now. We are coming up on 9:20. In about 40 minutes from now, we will have KVUE News at 10 o'clock, and we will go over the forecast in even more detail. Y'all have a good night. Shane will be in the morning with an update for you, and then we'll have our normal streams and radar streams and all the stuff we normally do during severe weather through the day tomorrow. Y'all have a good night, and I will see you at 10.